Chief guest, Shri Anil Deshmukh ji, Honorable Home Minister of Maharashtra. I'd request you all to please take a seat so that we can get this show rolling ASAP. I hope the liquid courage has worked in understanding the true motive and the true reason why we're all here together as one, as a big family, and that family is called India. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the launch of Assalamualaikum Watan, a tribute to our great country and its unity, authored by my father, Sanjay Khan, and published by Fingerprint Publishing. I am Zareen Khan, and I will be your hostess with the mostest today, or like my father says, follow the script. What better way to start this evening off than our beloved national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, I would request all of you all to rise up for our national anthem. It's about who is India and what is India. It's a struggle to define the narrative of this amazing great nations informed by its true history. My father, at his best, discusses the present-day issues faced by Muslims in the country, as well as their extraordinary contributions throughout the centuries in the development of this great country. From the day of his young adulthood, my father was determined to find a medium of self-expression that also contributed to the awareness of society. It did not take him long to realize that the natural convergence of these two desires was films. This calling resulted in an extraordinary career that spanned across many films as a leading actor, director, producer. During the course of his personal and professional evolution, he realized that he wanted to contribute to more than just entertainment. He wanted to be a messenger of social and moral and ethical ideals, and finally became an author with his second book, Assalamualaikum Watan. I want to give you an anecdote just about my father. When I was about 9 years old, I used to find the custom of my friends touching the feet of their elders very engaging and very endearing. And it was something that we didn't practice, but at the same time we were very well averse to and we were very well informed about. So I asked him, I said, Papa, why do people touch the feet of their elders? So he says, son, firstly, you get blessings. And most importantly, dil se blessings milte hain. So I was really enamored by this, and I made it a habit to people I truly respected and I truly was fond of and truly felt that they were a major force of nature in changing, a good narrative. I went and I did that, and I saw a smile on their face. These are the cross-pollinating ideas that modern India today should uphold, whether you're from any religion, caste, creed, color, doesn't matter. But that was what my father taught me, and we as a family have imbibed ever since, and the rest is history. Assalamu alaikum, well-researched and sensitively handled, provides a unique perspective into the role of the Muslim community and what it's played in nation building in India through the passage of time, and the potential it has in molding India's future further. Now, without any further ado, I would like to present, and proudly like to present, the audiovisual of Assalamualaikum Watan, which will enlighten us about the immense contributions of the Indian Muslim community over the centuries to our great nation, India. May I please have the AV? And you're going to see this in two versions, English and Hindi. So bear with us. Thank you very much. Can we please have the AV? Now I would like to mention, I would like to ask and request our guests of honors to come up on stage and say a few words and to be as brief as they possibly can, but not without missing the point. I would like to first call upon superstar, one of my favorite all-time actresses, or should I be more politically correct and say actor, Miss Hema Malini, Mrs. Hema Malini ji, to come up on stage and say a few words about what she feels, followed by, of course, Shri Amit Deshmukh, who is going to enlighten us about his journey and what he feels about India. So, and of course, finally, Shri Anil Deshmukh ji, Honorable Home Minister of Maharashtra. So I would first like to call upon Hema Malini ji to say a few brief words. Thank you. A round of applause, please.
Honorable Home Minister of Maharashtra, Anil Deshmukh ji, Sanjay Khan ji, all the distinguished guests. I am extremely happy to be here with all of you this evening once again for the release of Assalamualaikum Watan by Sanjay Khan ji. I congratulate him for the spirit of nationalism he possesses. ये वही लोग लिख सकते हैं इस किस्म का किताब जिसको मुल्क के प्रति प्यार हो, मोहब्बत हो, जज्बा हो और तजुर्बा हो. And apart from being a wonderful human being and a good friend of mine, Sanjay Khan ji is a wonderful producer, director, actor, and who has a vast experience in every field. And he has done so many social work, and so wonderful to know that he has donated so many billions for the education. And this book, Assalamualaikum Watan, is going to inspire the youth of India to get educated. That is the dream of our beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji also. Also, he is transforming the country to a different level, and his dream is to get all the people educated, especially Beti Padhao, Beti Bachao for the girl children. So this book is going to inspire all the youth, especially the Muslim community who have contributed a lot for the country. So it is wonderful. I'm sure this book is going to give a lot of insight for the people to know. And education is very important. And that is how, because they are the one who is going to take forward our country. Without any kind of selfish motive, they have to be part of the country, help the country to grow. So I'm sure this is going to help each and everyone. And Sanjay ji, thank you so much for inviting me for this function. I wish you all good luck for this book.
Was the briefest of all the speakers in any case, but I only want to add, I don't want to ask him a question, I only want to add one thing that I think everybody in the media and everybody in the political world must also now emulate what Mr. Sanjay Khan has written in the book and speak for one nation. Because if we don't do it, I don't think at this stage anybody is going to listen. And in order to be brief, I'm reminded, since you are all from the field of acting and everything else, Sir John Gielgud, when he was on stage, he forgot his line. And the phone rang and he picked up the phone, and he'd forgotten what he had to say. So he said, "It's for you, dear," and handed it to the other guest.
He should be the same.
As brief as I can be.
The mic is in my hand. Now, I want to just repeat one message that I already have stated, and that is, I think the best way of repeating it is by quoting Edmund Burke. Edmund Burke was a British parliamentarian, and one day in Parliament, in the 18th century actually, 18th century. He's a British parliamentarian in the 18th century. And there there was a lot of debate about some of the issues that the British government was facing, and everyone was complaining about the fact that the problem was too huge and that no individual could actually handle the problem. So he got up and he said, no man made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he felt he could do so little. Now that's actually symptomatic, I think, or emblematic of my friend sitting on my right. The problem that we face in our country is huge, and every one of us could take a back seat or could sort of sit back and say, we as individuals can do nothing. The problem is beyond us, is larger than us. We simply cannot shift the needle. When one man takes up the cudgels, when one man decides that he is going to dedicate his life to actually ensuring that the problem does not remain, that the problem is addressed, it is, in fact, the greatest, I think, achievement that we can applaud. It is remarkable, because that one man is going to shift the needle maybe 2 degrees. He's going to take one step forward, but then he will allow us, all the rest of us, to be able to take the second step, which is going to be a much larger second step. So that's all the message that I want to pass on reading the book that I did. And thank you very much for having inspired me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The reason for writing this book is the passion for my country. I love my country as much as I love my religion. In fact, I'm an Indian first, then my religion comes to me. I want to reach to the furthest corners of India, to every ear which can catch my word, to, for God's sake, let's put Indianness into the strength and we be steel. India has a great future because we are a hugely intelligent nation from all sectors of society, communities, each one contributing a pearl to this huge river of pearls which we can create. India is now looking at an opportunity of sitting at the big table of 4 superpowers: America, Russia, China, and India. To attain that power, my book gives the message: through education, you can attain that power. Through education and unity. We have the choice either to sit at the large table and dine with the 4 superpowers, or break India up to smithereens in small, petty, communal isms and schisms, Jat, Path, Hindu, Muslim, and destroy this country and sit at the table on the ground and eat the crumbs of the big table. We have the choice. Either eat the crumbs or sit at the table and dine as a superpower. So, unity. I am contributing, inspiring 172 million Indians who contribute to the demographic vibrancy of India each day to organize themselves, educate themselves. I've given the example of Jews, how from where to where they rule the world today. 1% of Jews rule America, rule the world because of their intelligence, because that's how it emanated from education. Without education is zero. I'll give you a mundane example. Once I was somewhere campaigning for my friend Vilas Rauji. One guy in the crowd asked me, "Sir, what can you tell me about education, and you talk so much on education?" I said to him, I said, "Listen, if you are sitting in a dark room and you can't see a thing, that is illiteracy. And if the switch is on and the light is on, you can see the bed, the table, and the chair, and the television, and the pankha. That is education. You can see and feel anything. So therefore, if you deprive a man from education, is the worst sin you can commit on earth, in this country. Give him education. See the change in the same man. He can become a rocket scientist like Abul Kalam or some of the biggest, heroes we have. But if he's not educated, where does he go? So therefore, I wrote this book with the intention of mobilizing at least 172 million Muslims to inspire them to achieve and contribute to the exchequer of India repeatedly and help the country to gain its prize as a superpower. Thank you.